Open your eyes. The air is hot. The sun burns your skin before you even stand up. The smell of mud, smoke, sweat, and the Nile fills your lungs. There are no roads, no cars, no phones, no hospitals, no supermarkets, no police, no internet. Only one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen. Ancient Egypt. And somehow, you just become part of it. You have no money, no family, no idea how to speak the language. Nobody knows who you are. To everyone around you, you're just another stranger. But surviving here isn't about fighting monsters. It's about surviving the people. Because in ancient Egypt, one wrong move could cost you your freedom or your life. Your goal is simple. Survive 1 year. Sounds easy? Think again. Because before sunset, you need water, food, and somewhere safe to sleep. Otherwise, your adventure ends before it even begins. Welcome to ancient Egypt. Your first instinct is to walk toward the city. Massive limestone buildings rise from the desert. Farmers pull wooden plows. Children chase goats. Merchants shout across busy streets. Everything feels alive until everyone stops and stares at you. Your clothes, your hair, even the way you walk. Everything about you screams, I don't belong. That's dangerous. Ancient Egypt was built on order. Every person had a place, a job, a family, a purpose. You have none. Suspicion spreads quickly. You need to blend in. Fast. You rip pieces of cloth from a nearby market stall and wrap them around yourself. It's crude, but better than looking like someone from another world. Now, food. Your stomach growls. Bread is everywhere. Beer too. Yes, beer. In ancient Egypt, beer was safer than drinking untreated water. Even children drank weak versions of it. You find a baker. Smile awkwardly. Point at the bread. The baker says something you don't understand. You smile again. He doesn't. Without money, you get nothing. Hunger arrives much faster than you expected. And this is only your first day. You realize something terrifying. The Nile gives life, but it also brings death. Its floods feed the crops. Its waters provide fish, but crocodiles patrol its banks. Hippos defend their territory with terrifying aggression. A single mistake near the river could end everything. Still, you need water. You watch local villagers. Nobody drinks directly from the river. Instead, they collect water in clay jars. Some boil it. Others filter it with cloth. You copy them. Congratulations. You've survived dehydration. Barely. Then, the heat arrives. Over 40 degrees Celsius. No sunscreen. No air conditioning. No bottled water. Working beneath this sun wasn't optional. It was survival. And if you refuse to work, you don't eat. So you volunteer to help carry stone blocks. Huge mistake. Within an hour, your shoulders ache. Your hands bleed. Your feet blister. This isn't modern construction. Everything is done by muscle. Every brick, every beam, every monument, built by human hands. You collapse from exhaustion. The workers laugh. Not because they're cruel, because tomorrow, they'll do it all again. Night falls. Finally, some relief from the heat. Until you hear them. Jackals, hyenas, strange insects you've never seen before. The desert becomes a completely different world after sunset. Sleeping outside isn't safe, but neither is entering someone else's home. Hospitality existed. So did suspicion. A wandering stranger could easily be mistaken for a thief or a spy. You find shelter beneath a simple storage building. Cold stone, hard ground, no pillow, no blanket, just darkness. Hours later, you wake up. Something is crawling across your arm. A scorpion. You freeze. One sudden movement, and its tail strikes. Thankfully, it crawls away. Your heart doesn't stop racing until sunrise. Congratulations. You've survived your first night. But ancient Egypt has barely begun testing you. Days become weeks. You finally find work on a farm. The hours are endless. Plant, harvest, carry, repeat. You quickly learn something. Ancient Egypt survives because everyone works together. The Nile floods. Fields grow. Granarias feed. Cities survive. Miss one harvest. Thousands starve. Food isn't just food. It's power. The Pharaoh controls massive grain stores. Temples distribute supplies. Taxes are often paid with crops instead of coins. You slowly earn trust. Enough to receive bread, onions, dates, sometimes fish. Life improves until disease arrives. No antibiotics, no vaccines, no emergency rooms. A tiny cut becomes infected. A simple fever becomes deadly. Ancient Egyptian doctors were surprisingly advanced for their time. They could stitch wounds, set broken bones, even perform basic surgeries. But medicine still relied heavily on prayers, magic, and herbal remedies. Whether you recover depends as much on luck as skill. You survive. Others don't. Death is always nearby, always waiting. One morning, trumpets echo across the city. Everyone kneels instantly. You hesitate. Big mistake. The Pharaoh is passing. To Egyptians, he isn't just a king. He's chosen by the gods. Some even believe he is a god. Failing to show respect could be interpreted as rebellion. You immediately bow. Just in time, the royal procession passes. Golden chariots, elite guards, priests carrying sacred symbols, crowds cheering. For a brief moment, you witness one of history's most powerful rulers. Then they're gone. Life returns to normal, as if nothing happened. Except, you now understand something. This civilization isn't held together by fear alone. It's held together by belief. Everyone has a role. Everyone follows Ma'at, the principle of balance, order, justice. Without it, everything collapses. Months pass. You've learned the language. You have friends, a place to sleep, a steady source of food. For the first time, you feel like you belong. Then disaster strikes. The Nile floods far beyond expectations. Homes disappear beneath muddy water. Fields vanish. Animals drown. People scramble to higher ground. Everything you've built can disappear in a single season. Nature decides who survives. Not wealth, not intelligence, not strength. You spend days helping rebuild, digging, carrying supplies, saving what little food remains. Slowly, life returns. Ancient Egypt survives once again because resilience is stronger than disaster. 1 year, 365 days. You did it. You survived ancient Egypt, not by becoming the strongest, not by becoming the richest, but by adapting. You learned to respect the Nile, to understand the people, to embrace traditions older than most civilizations. You discovered that survival isn't about conquering history. It's about becoming part of it. Ancient Egypt wasn't just a land of pyramids and pharaohs. It was a world built by ordinary people who endured extraordinary hardships every single day. The monuments still stand thousands of years later. But the greatest achievement wasn't the pyramids. It was the millions of lives that made them possible. So, could you survive ancient Egypt? Maybe, if you're willing to let go of everything you know. Because in the end, the greatest challenge wouldn't be surviving the desert, or the crocodiles, or the Pharaoh. It would be surviving a world that owes you nothing and demands everything.